Hello, this is Photography Gamer. Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm reviewing Fallout New Vegas for the Xbox Series S. The game was originally released for the Xbox 360. Fallout New Vegas is a post-apocalyptic role-playing game developed by Obsidian Entertainment. You play as the Courier, a mysterious character who awakens in the Mojave Desert following a job that went wrong. The main story sees you attempt to uncover what happened, who was involved, and the deeper conspiracy behind it. So what is the game like to play? Well, you start out by creating your own unique character, and the available options are pretty good. The key part is selecting your stats and special skills, although these can be added too as you level up throughout your adventure. So you wake up in a shack, and after a quick checkup by a doctor, you're free to explore the open world. And I'd say it's a little bit of a hard start with poor weapons and armor at the beginning, so the first few hours do require a sort of tentative approach. Animals will attack you in the wild, raiders will confront you on the open road, radiation will take its toll, limbs will break, and it can be a bit daunting in the early stages. Your character has a Pip-Boy, which is a way of managing your inventory, maps, quests and items, and you will need it as it helps you navigate the sparse game world with very few points of interest. So expect lots of walking around empty landscapes in the first few hours. But the more you explore, the more combat will become more of a part of the journey, and this is where the VATS system comes in. VATS allows you to freeze time, then you can pinpoint an individual body part. How effective the attack will be depends on range, weapon type and other factors. The game features an extensive variety in regard to weapons and armor, and all these items have limited durability, and I'd say this can be a little bit of an issue, with most things breaking a little bit too quickly. But again, you can repair them if you've got the necessary equipment. And that's where looting and scavenging comes in. You'll be hoarding all manner of items from bottle caps, weapons, ammo and anything that isn't tied down. Unfortunately, the crafting options are fairly limited, so most of the things you do collect are only really used for basic recipes or just selling on to traders. For me, the three strongest aspects of Fallout New Vegas are the factions, the freedom of choice and the narrative. The warring factions are absolutely fascinating with disturbed and bizarre philosophies, and all these factions, they will be vying for your allegiances as your fame grows. You play a key part in which faction will rule the roost by way of your gameplay choices, so every key decision does have an impact, whether that be a positive one or a negative one. It is a fantastic system, and it makes the game world feel more alive as your relationships evolve throughout the main campaign. As I said, the freedom of choice is also exceptional. The game doesn't force you to be good or bad. You can be whatever you want to be. Be nice to everyone, be a complete shit, charm people with words to avoid combat, or just draw your gun and blow them all away. Finally, let's talk about the narrative. As with most Fallout games, it's the story that sets it apart. The game world is full of unique, varied and really interesting characters, whether that be weird cults seeking world domination, surreal ghouls who believe they're here for a divine purpose, or military forces looking for a land grab. The story is complex and it's got really dark and twisted satirical humour. Every major character is worth talking to, and the more you discuss, the more you uncover, and it's one of those games that gets better the more you play it. It really is an absolute delight to discover the sort of secrets, the hidden motives and the political shenanigans going on behind the scenes. Graphically, the game has a bleak and disparate style, with the desert setting providing a nice change from the other Fallout games. Saying that, the character animations, they are a bit wooden and dated, but I'd say overall, visually, it still looks good, and the glitches that plagued the original release seem to have been remedied for the most part. Sound is probably the best part of the game, with stellar variety in terms of high quality voice acting, excellent vintage music, and really nice sound effects that add to the immersion. The best compliment I can pay the writing and voice acting is that I rarely skipped any dialogue, as each character was interesting enough for you to want to know exactly what they're going to say. Let the conversation pan out rather than thinking, can this end please? Okay, what's good and what's bad? What's good? The story and voice acting are fantastic. The way you can create a very unique character to suit your style adds massive replay value. The freedom to choose your path and basically do whatever you like is both liberating and satisfying. And the game world, although quite empty, is atmospheric and full of depth, character and brilliant touches. What's bad? The game world is perhaps a little overly sparse with vast open spaces with very few points of interest. The in-game loot has limited uses, and the weapon and armor durability adds an unnecessary grind to the experience. So what's the verdict? Fallout New Vegas is a charming game with immense amounts of detail, a brilliant narrative and so many memorable moments and characters. The ability to create a unique character is welcome, but it's the freedom of expression that makes the game a true joy to play through. You know, we've all played games where you're forced to do something you don't want to do, whether it's save a character you don't like or kill one that you do. Not here. New Vegas lets you decide how things pan out, not just for your character, but also the warring factions in the game world. Yes, the game does perhaps have a bit of a slow start that is quite tricky to get into, but once you break through, it's an absolutely wonderful experience and one that is immensely rewarding in the long run. Whether it's the interesting game world, bizarre factions, fascinating characters, or satisfying character creation system. All of these factors make New Vegas a worthy addition to the Fallout franchise and one that I would very much recommend. So my score for Fallout New Vegas is 9 out of 10. Okay, that was the review. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. This is Photography Gamer signing off. Thank you.